Back in the early days of man, it was a widely held belief that the sun and the 5 planets that we could visibly see were revolving around the Earth. This was our universe. But that belief slowly began to change shortly after the first settlers began arriving in America. This slide presentation at the NASA Langley Visitor Center tells a story of man's look at the universe back in colonial days.
In 1609, just 2 years after the first English settlers arrived in Jamestown, Galileo Galilei pointed his crude telescope skyward. He discovered undreamed of wonders, mountains on the moon, dark spots on the sun, and 4 moons, now known as the Galilean satellites, revolving around the planet Jupiter.
In colonial America, it was fashionable among aristocrats to study the stars, but a certain amount of knowledge about astronomy was needed in everyday life. In addition to the more popular Galileo and Newton, there of course were others who made significant contributions, such as David Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse produced a number of telescopes and astronomical instruments. He invented the process of placing actual spider webs in the focus of a telescope, a system that permitted more accurate measurements.
While the minds of many were occupied with winning freedom from the British, others managed to keep their sights set on the stars.
Just as the American Revolution was drawing to a close, the British astronomer William Herschel made a spectacular discovery. In 1781, he observed a new planet, which would later bear the name Uranus.
Who knows? In the next 200 years or so, we may be able to reach these planets and find out for sure if there is or isn't life as we're able to understand it. At the NASA Langley Research Center at Hampton, Don Roberts, The Daily News.